What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Wrestling World Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Austin Boyer. Before we get into tonight's video, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for your latest wrestling news and updates. Alright, guys. All In was just this past Saturday. All Out, All In, whatever. Drew some good ratings, drew a good crowd. I've seen some mixed reviews, but most of them positive. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. So Bryan Danielson retains, but Moxley turns. So Moxley betrayed Danielson. This will lead to Danielson versus Moxley. But Moxley putting a bag over Bryan Danielson's head. But that's not all. We saw Swerve Strickland getting a syringe needle to the mouth. Some other stuff. But anyway, a lot of people are saying, this is too much. Even for some of the people that grew up in the, the ruthless aggression era, the attitude era, are saying it's too much. I wouldn't necessarily say it's too much. I would say it's just too out there. Maybe this is AEW's desperate attempt to get fans by doing something totally outlandish and crazy. There's ways of going extreme in wrestling, and there's ways of just being stupid. This to me was just, it was silly, not needed. It's not like they were trash cans or whatever. This wasn't wrestling. And I don't like hardcore wrestling. I won't defend it. This, to me, was not wrestling. This was stupidity. Especially the syringe to the mouth. I think that was just goofy. What was the point? I personally think it was just stupid. And I think this is Tony Khan's desperate attempt to get people talking. Now, there's also rumors of Tony Khan supposedly a big announcement. It's going to send shockwaves to the industry is what I'm hearing. Who knows? Because knowing Tony Khan, this could be anything from, Dynamite being on Thursday now or Collision being on Monday. Something stupid. So if it's even legit news, okay. But in other news, as well as AEW, TNT and TBS apparently reached an agreement with AEW, and that AEW will stay on TBS and TNT. So that makes you wonder, did AEW ever have a TV deal? Or, did they just reach an agreement? It's kind of weird given the ratings. But I mean, if the ratings are good enough for them to keep a TV deal, then okay, good for them. I'm not complaining. Like I said, I want AEW to succeed. But with the stupid, hardcore crap that they're doing, it's hard to defend, even for an AEW fan. Even for non-AEW fans, they can't defend it. There's people that have watched wrestling for 30 plus years and are saying, what is this? There's people that grew up in the Attitude Era and they're saying, what is this? I've tried my hardest to support AEW. I have. Getting kind of crazy. I watched Collision last week with a good friend of mine. Remember BHS? We watched Collision last week. And it looked like an indie-based show. But, oh well. Anyways, moving on. So, we're probably going to get Moxley, Danielson. Will Ospreay had a good match. Will Ospreay and Pac, I heard, was a great match. I'll have to check that out. Supposedly match of the night. I was always a fan of Pac. But yeah. Not surprised that they put on a good match. Pac's a talented wrestler. I'm sure he can carry anybody. I haven't really seen much of Will Ospreay, but I will give him a watch. But you'll get the rundown from me tomorrow night. Monday Night Raw's on at 8 o'clock. So around 7 o'clock, I'll go live. We'll talk about AEW, whatever, everything that's happened. So I want to save that for tomorrow. All right, guys, WWE. All right. WWE tomorrow night, we're going to have the return of Bret Hart. It is also rumored that Bret Hart will have a program with Gunther tomorrow. So that'll be interesting to see. This is Bret's first appearance in years. Bret has had health problems with cancer and everything else, so it's good to see Bret Hart finally back in WWE. Hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully they have a good program. If they do have a good storyline with Gunther tomorrow, or an angle with Gunther or whatever, that'll be interesting to see, because Gunther is their top guy. So as long as it's not with Bill Goldberg, I'm sure Bret Hart will be fine. But yeah. It's also not rumored, but we're also going to see the Wyatt Six tomorrow. Street fight against American Made. Now, hopefully, this is the end of the whole Wyatt Six American Made storyline. We've seen this go on for quite some time. I kind of wish it was over. It should have ended a couple weeks ago with Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy facing off one-on-one. That's when I thought that the angle would, that the storyline would just dissolve, disappear, be gone for good. But apparently that's not the case. Hopefully this week, tomorrow night, will be the last of it. So let's hope so. Hopefully they can move on with Uncle Howdy. But what worries me is that, what if WWE doesn't have a plan for Uncle Howdy? And this is why they've been carrying on the angle with Chad Gable for so long. Which makes me wonder, I'm trying to be patient with this, but it does make you wonder if WWE knows how to book the Wyatt Six stable. If you remember, they've had trouble booking, the Wyatt family in the past. They've had trouble booking Bray Wyatt. WWE has a history of, having trouble of booking supernatural characters, such as Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, Alexa Bliss even, but we'll see what they do. I'm hoping for the success of Uncle Howdy, because I am a big Bray Wyatt fan, and I would love to see Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy have his own decent career and run in WWE, and eventually become a world champion one day, hopefully, if WWE ever decides to pull that off. But it's very possible, very, very possible. But I am excited for that. Randy Orton, I'm assuming, will be around tomorrow, as well as Drew McIntyre, probably cutting a promo on CM Punk. We saw Drew McIntyre take out CM Punk last week on Raw, so they will continue their feud going on to Bad Blood. Speaking of pushes, I mentioned earlier about a push about Bo Dallas just a second ago. It seems like WWE is going to give Jacob Fatu a pretty decent push, given that last Friday's promo, this past Friday, Cody Rhodes telling Jacob Fatu to step up. I think if anybody stands out of the bloodline right now, other than Solo, it's Jacob Fatu. So it'll be interesting to see, given that we have Bad Blood coming up and War Games, if Jacob Fatu betrays Solo, or at least, goes after the World Championship with Cody Rhodes. As, what I see planned for that, I see, we're probably going to get Solo versus Cody. Roman returns with Paul Heyman, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But it seems like the plan. But, alright guys, not much to dig into today. Throughout the week we'll hear more news, but I want to give you a quick rundown of everything. Sami Zayn versus Gunther probably going to happen soon, as I predicted. Got pat on the back for me, right? I'm excited for that, given that Sami Zayn is the first person to beat Gunther. But definitely, going to be a good match there. I see a lot of redemption for Gunther. I see Gunther having a decent reign, but We'll see. Not a Roman Reigns, championship reign, but I mean a decent reign. So, let me know your thoughts, guys. What do you think about the Wyatt Six? What are your thoughts on Chad Gable? What are your thoughts on AEW? What are your thoughts on All In or All Out? Whatever. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Hit that like and sub button, and I'll see you tomorrow night live for Monday Night Raw. Have a good day, guys. God bless.